You know the job, you know the score, you know what has to be done, yet you're stuck right now, hovering over the starting line, analyzing the risk, counting the costs, whispering that pathetic, weak question to yourself, can I do this? Let me answer that for you. Yes, you can, you will. You already know how to win. The only thing separating you from the victory you crave is the distance between your intention and your action. And right now, that distance is filled with a garbage pile of doubt, hesitation, and most unforgivable of all, whining. Stop analyzing it. Stop checking the temperature. Stop waiting for the perfect sign. The perfect sign is the feeling of urgency burning in your gut right now. That fire is your conscience telling you that you are wasting time, wasting talent, and disrespecting the work you've already put in. You have been built for this moment. You have been trained for this pressure. You have failed enough times to know exactly where the traps are. The only thing you have left to do is to impose your will on the moment. You don't need a pep talk. You need a slap in the face. Get your hands off your excuses, get your head into the game, and simply execute. The time for questioning is over. The time for winning is now. Let's talk about the sound I hate the most, the whine. That high-pitched, self-pitying drone that comes out of people who are exhausted but refuse to finish. They complain about the opponent, the rules, the schedule, the market, or the lack of luck. When you whine, you are doing two terrible things. First, you are giving your opponent a free advantage because you are spending energy complaining instead of planning. Second, and more importantly, you are admitting to your own soul that you are not capable of solving the problem. You are trading your agency for a complaint. I didn't conquer the league by whining about the bad boys Pistons' physical defense. They were fouling me, they were hitting me, they were trying to take me out. I had two choices: complain to the refs and hope for a penalty, or go to the weight room and make my body strong enough to absorb the hit and finish the play. I chose the weight room, I chose the grind, I chose strength over sympathy. Stop looking for sympathy. Sympathy is cheap. It buys you nothing but a temporary moment of comfort. The only currency that matters is results. You need to look at your current crisis, your current exhaustion, your current doubt, and say, this is my trial. This is where I prove my worth. Every challenge is a chance to show yourself how powerful you truly are. You will win this, but only if you drop the narrative that you are a victim. The champion mentality is simple: shut up and perform. Most people think winning happens on the scoreboard. They think victory is the sound of the final buzzer. That's the celebration. The real victory, the one that matters, happens hours, days, sometimes years before the crowd even shows up. You win the battle in the dark. I won my championships, not during the finals in June, but in the grueling summer heat of the offseason. I won when I chose the gym over the beach. I won when I chose the extra 500 jump shots over the extra hour of sleep. I won because my preparation created an insurmountable psychological advantage. By the time I walked onto the court, I didn't hope to win. I knew it. The game was just the required public declaration of the work I had already done. This is the secret power you need to harness. The certainty of your success should be directly proportionate to the brutality of your effort. If you are currently nervous, if you are doubting, if you are paralyzed by the fear of failure, it is because you haven't put in the work required to eliminate that fear. Fear is a function of lack of preparation. Confidence is the debt you owe yourself for the hours you spent grinding. So stop waiting for inspiration. Stop waiting for courage. Get up right now and attack the preparation. Make your routine so rigorous. Make your effort so uncompromising that when the moment of truth arrives, your mind is quiet, your heart is cold, and your only thought is, this is easy. I've done this 1,000 times. You want to win? Pay the price in advance. You're dwelling on yesterday's loss. You're replaying the mistake, the missed opportunity, the public blunder. You're letting that single event define your entire capability. That is weak. Failure is not a tombstone. It is a map. It is the most precise instruction manual you will ever receive. When I missed a shot, I didn't cry in the locker room. I replayed the whole sequence in my head over and over until I identified the exact fraction of a second where my technique broke down or where my focus wavered. That analysis, that cold, hard, unforgiving self-assessment was my next day's training plan. Most people treat failure like poison. They avoid it, they deny it, they pretend it didn't happen. Champions treat failure like fertilizer. They take the messy, humiliating truth of the mistake and they use it to nourish the next iteration of their effort. You are stronger than you think precisely because your capacity to learn from pain is infinite. Stop being afraid to look bad. Stop worrying about what the critics say. The critics are irrelevant because they are not in the arena bleeding for the result. The only voice that matters is the one telling you that didn't work. Now fix it. Failure is the price of admission to the next level. If you're not failing often, you're not pushing hard enough. Take the blow, absorb the lesson, and punch back immediately, harder and smarter. You came here saying you need to be strong, you need to be a winner. But every time you say, I can't, or it's too hard, or they were unfair, you are voluntarily putting on the victim uniform. The victim is passive. The victim waits for external forces, luck, a handout, a change in circumstance to save them. The victim complains about the game instead of learning how to dominate it. And I'm telling you, you have no time to be a victim. You are a competitor, a builder, a warrior. Your only job is to impose your will on the chaos around you. The world doesn't care about your pain. It only respects power. And power is generated internally. It comes from the fierce private decision to take 100% responsibility for everything that happens, good or bad. Did you lose? Your fault. Did the market crash? Your problem to solve. Did the teammate fail? Your job to lift him up or carry the damn team yourself. Stop assigning blame. Blame is just noise. It's a distraction from the work. When you choose the victim role, you forfeit your ability to act. You become a spectator in your own life. The moment you take full ownership, the power returns to your hands. You realize that if it's your fault, you can also fix it. If you can fix it, you can win. Stop giving away your power. You are not weak. You are simply making weak choices. Get your hands out of the air, put them on the tools and fix the damn problem. You talk about being strong, but where is your willpower getting its training? You go to the gym to train your biceps, you go to the track to train your lungs, but your will, the single most important muscle you possess, you leave soft, unexercised, and vulnerable to the slightest resistance. You need to understand that the will is not some mystical, endless wellspring of energy. It is a muscle that must be broken down and rebuilt, just like your quads. And the only way to train it is to consistently, deliberately choose the hardest path when an easier one is available. Did you choose the cold shower over the hot one? Did you choose the raw, honest critique over the flattering lie? Did you choose the extra hour of grueling, focused work over the relaxation you earn? Every single one of those choices is a rep for your will. If you consistently choose comfort, your will atrophies. If you consistently choose confrontation, your will becomes steel. The pain you feel right now, that desperate urge to give up, is the precise moment your will is being tested. That voice telling you to quit is the resistance that gives you strength. Don't fight the resistance, use it, push against it, absorb it, and let it harden your resolve. You are not strong because you feel good, you are strong because you perform even when you feel terrible. Stop waiting for motivation. Enforce your will like a dictator over your own body and mind. You need to operate under a single, non-negotiable code. Action is the only antidote to anxiety. The reason you are paralyzed right now, the reason you are whining instead of winning, is because you have substituted thinking for doing. You are stuck in the analysis loop, running the probabilities of failure in your head instead of running the drill. That loop is a cage. It keeps you safe, but it also keeps you small. A true warrior doesn't spend time debating the worthiness of the battle. He executes the plan. He trusts the training. He moves with a purpose that eliminates doubt. Doubt is a luxury you cannot afford when you are chasing greatness. You have to simplify your life down to the bare essentials. What is the next immediate high leverage action? Is it the first phone call, the first chapter, the first hour of focused, brutal work? Whatever it is, you need to eliminate all secondary thoughts, silence the weak internal voice, and attack that task with 100% of your focus. The strength you seek is not intellectual, it is physical and immediate. It is the power to stand up when you want to sit down, the power to say yes to the work when your mind is screaming no. Stop debating your worth. Your worth is proven through the consistency of your effort. If you are thinking, you are losing. If you are acting, you are winning. The only solution to your problem is motion. Get off the line and just run the damn play. Look at the difference between a champion and everyone else. When something goes wrong, a bad call, a market correction, a betrayal, the average person adds drama. They panic, they shout, they dedicate time and mental energy to the injustice. The champion eliminates drama. They treat the setback like a technical foul. It's unfortunate, it costs a point, but it's now history. They immediately pivot to the next play mentality. The clock is ticking, the game demands a solution, not a spectacular display of emotion. The secret power you need to cultivate is cold objectivity. You must look at your current problem, the debt, the physical pain, the lost client, and strip away the emotion. Reduce it to its simplest form. What is the objective, measurable task required to neutralize this threat? You don't need to cry about the loss of $10,000. You need a plan to earn $12,000. Whining is drama. Self-pity is drama. Blaming others is drama. Drama is wasted energy. Every second you spend in that emotional loop is a second you could have spent calculating, training, or executing. You are stronger than you think because your mind is capable of this cold, calculating focus. You just choose to let noise and emotion rule it. Stop being an actor in the tragedy. Be an engineer solving a problem. Get rid of the drama. Get back to the cold, hard logic of winning. Your body is a liar. It is a brilliant, highly sophisticated machine designed for one thing above all else: survival through comfort. The moment you ask it to push past its baseline, it will start screaming, it will invent pain, it will conjure fatigue, it will whisper, "You deserve a break." This is the ultimate test of your strength. You need to look at your body, your hands, your legs, your burning lungs, and recognize that its desire for rest is an act of betrayal against your higher goal. You are not strong because you can avoid the pain. You are strong because you can perform through the pain. When I played the flu game, my body was actively revolting. Every cell was telling me, "Lie down, you are sick, you are done." That moment was not about scoring points, it was about the supremacy of the will over the physical machine. I took that weakness, that fever, and I forced it to operate at an elite level. Stop listening to the voice of laziness. Laziness is not a state of being, it's a moral failure disguised as fatigue. You are not too tired to do the work, you are simply undisciplined enough to choose comfort. You have reserves you will never tap into. If you stop every time your body complains, you have the fuel, you have the will. Stop negotiating with your own internal weakness and force the machine to perform. The body serves the mind. Make your mind the absolute unforgiving master. You need to internalize the single gold standard of a winner. You must become undeniable. What does undeniable mean? It means your performance is so consistent, so overwhelming, and so far above the average that the critics, the doubters, and the haters have nothing left to say. They cannot deny the results. They cannot deny the effort. They cannot deny your presence. Most people focus on being good enough. They aim for a passing grade, a decent score, an acceptable performance. That is a recipe for being deniable. You leave room for doubt. You leave room for the competition to catch up. You leave room for the weak internal voice to say, "See, you almost made it." Undeniable means you have to build a margin of excellence that is so wide, failure becomes an improbable accident. This margin is built through the extra hour of study, the extra mile run, the extra layer of focus applied when your mind is screaming for rest. This is where you prove your strength, not when you barely scrape by, but when you dominate with a quiet, efficient, and overwhelming force. Stop leaving room for doubt in your preparation. Stop allowing excuses to chip away at your execution. Go for the knockout. Go for the performance that silences every room you enter. You are stronger than you think, but that strength is useless until you translate it into an undeniable output. Take control, just make the results inevitable. You complain about being alone. You look for community, for people who are on your level. But here's the truth of the champion. The higher you climb, the lonelier the view becomes. You are not meant to be surrounded by people who understand your drive. If they understood it, they would be right there beside you, fighting for the same rare air. Your ambition, your will to dominate is your private sacred weapon. It is a force that most people fear and misunderstand. They will call you obsessed. They will call you selfish. They will try to pull you back down into the safety of mediocrity because your relentless drive highlights their own lack of effort. Their judgment is the tax you pay for your superiority. You must sever your reliance on their approval. Your strength is not dependent on their cheering. It is dependent on the unforgiving mirror, the daily confrontation with your own effort. When I walked away from the game the first time, people called it retirement. I called it an experiment in isolation, a test of whether my drive was external or internal. It was internal. You are stronger than you think because you have the capacity to embrace the solitude, use the silence, use the lack of cheering. It sharpens your focus. It forces you to rely on the only thing that truly matters, the consistency of your own discipline. Stop looking for partners in the valley. Climb the mountain alone, and when you reach the top, you will realize that the only person you ever needed was the one who refused to quit. Superiority is a lonely business. Embrace it. Let's discuss the power that comes from being completely broken down. Not emotionally, but functionally. When you hit a major wall, a bankruptcy, a public failure, a physical injury that stops you cold, that moment is a terrifying stress test. The average person treats this moment as the end of the road. They pack up, they mourn the loss, and they use the magnitude of the disaster as a permanent excuse for quitting. The champion treats this moment as the ultimate diagnosis. A loss or a breakdown is the universe forcing you to see the weakest link in your system. It forces you to see where your foundation was shaky, where your effort was fraudulent, or where your confidence was brittle. You don't rebuild by ignoring the fracture. You rebuild by attacking the weak point with obsessive focus. When I suffered an injury, my focus didn't shift to pity, it shifted to engineering. How do I strengthen the surrounding muscles? How do I change my technique to compensate? How do I use this forced absence to study the game in a way my healthy competitors are too busy to do? I turned the tragedy into a strategic advantage. You are stronger than you think because your capacity for recovery is tied directly to your will to learn. Stop seeing the disaster as a reason to quit. See it as an expensive, painful, but ultimately irreplaceable masterclass in where you need to apply the most unforgiving effort. Get back to basics, get the wrench, get back to the lab. You don't need to be fixed. You need to be rebuilt better and stronger than before. Let's address the final critical step, the one where most people, even those who have done 99% of the work, fall apart. Execution. You've done the preparation, you've endured the pain, you've silenced the whining. Now the clock is ticking, the pressure is real, and the moment demands action. You are not paid for your effort. You are paid for your performance. And performance is the precise, cold delivery of what you practice in the dark. The magic of winning is that there is no magic. It's just the ruthless efficiency of doing exactly what you trained for. When I took the game-winning shot, I wasn't thinking about the score, the crowd, or the pressure. I was thinking footwork, elbow tuck to follow through. I reduced the moment of chaos to a sequence of practice fundamentals. Your moment of triumph is not the time for innovation. It is the time for a robot-like discipline. You must eliminate the internal debate and the self-doubt and simply trust the thousands of hours of grinding you have already banked. Your mind is the architect. Your hands are the executioners. Do not let the architect argue with the executioner when the time comes to build. Stop hoping for a miracle. You are the miracle. Your capacity for focus, your ability to ignore the noise, and your willingness to commit to the final necessary action that is your strength. Take the shot, make the call, write the code. Do not hesitate. Just lock in and finish the play. The time for being scared is over. Go get what you earned. You walked in here feeling sorry for yourself, looking for some magic affirmation. I'm not a magician. I'm a competitor. And I'm telling you that the whining stops now. You don't need my permission to be great. You need to demand it from your own reflection. You are not weak. Your circumstances are not impossible. Your challenges are not unique. The only thing separating you from the win is the choice to stop negotiating with the softest part of your mind. The victory you crave is paid for in advance, not with money, but with discipline. You pay with the early mornings. You pay with the relentless pursuit of perfection when no one is watching. You pay with the decision to absorb the hit, learn the lesson, and punch back harder. I never achieved anything by wishing for it. I achieved it by committing to the brutal, monotonous, and unforgiving grind until the result was inevitable. That level of certainty is your only defense against doubt. So I am giving you an ultimatum. Get over yourself. You have the training, you have the talent, you have the will. Stop wasting time proving how hard it is and start proving how strong you are. Walk away from this and choose action over anxiety. Choose winning over whining. Your life, your business, your game, it all demands a result. Go and deliver. Do the damn thing.